Today, we explore one of the most visionary and lyrical chapters in early modern art, Orphism and the birth of abstraction. To help illuminate this moment, art historian and curator Masha Chlinova offers her insight into the movement and its lasting impact.
Orphism is a term that was invented by Guillaume Apollinaire, who is a poet and critic and friend of many of the artists. And by 1912, Apollinaire notices that many artists are beginning to break out of Cubism, and he's looking for a way to describe it. And Apollinaire uses the term to speak about a group of artists who, he would say, are coming out of Cubism into a more poetic, more internal vision of life and nature. In the recent Guggenheim exhibition from earlier this year included more artists, all of whom could fall under the purview of Orphism, but it's a very loose way of grouping artists on the basis of certain characteristics of their art, interest in motion and interested in perception.
Clearly, a major figure in early abstraction is František Kupka. When you look at Flux and reflux, what is Kupka seeing firsthand?
Flux and reflux is part of a group of works. Kupka very often worked in series. They look a little bit like stained glass, and they may very well have been inspired by stained glass. Kupka, we know, was fascinated with Gothic cathedrals and with cosmic light. So what Kupka is interested in is the play of forms on a surface, and it's really a kind of inspired rendering of our experience of the world, we can say, through the means that painting has: color and line and light and composition. The other work, the forme flasque, or soft forms, it's a work that also has a very strong echo of Kupka's very first abstractions from 1912-1913. Localization of graphic motifs are these programmatic giant paintings of these moving, swirling forms with an open center that seems to be receding. And in Advancing Abstraction, MoMA showed both of these together. He called them stereoscopic bridges. Forme flasque has this aspect of these translucent, intertwining, colorful forms, and he would make the composition very complex. The forme flasque has more of this translucency, whereas flux and reflux has more of a sense of carving, almost like a solid surface in space.
Leger was another artist in the Hazen collection.
Girl with a Bouquet of Flowers from 1921 is from a post-war moment in Leger's career as well. It's a kind of post-cubist Leger. In the background has this kind of complex spatial construction based on a grid with very thick black outlines, and a very interesting game of inscribing this column-like figure into this background, because she both stands out against it and also interacts with it. And you see the braid of her hair echoed in the leg of the table behind her. And then her face has a carving that is reminiscent of maybe Archipenko sculptures.
Speaking of flowers and still lifes, Delaunay, we have a still life naturemort from the 1930s. Can you tell us a little bit about this work?
Yeah, this is a very interesting work in the last phase of Delaunay's career and a very high point for him. This painting that Hazen had combines the best of Delaunay's worlds, let's say. His simultaneous contrast of colors, his interested in the swirling rhythms, because there's a very strong diagonal composition, and his interest in architectural painting, in mural painting, in large-scale work. Even though it's a small work, it has this very strong presence, and it has this kind of texture of cement being built into paint. It's not surprising that Hazen would have been attracted to all these works. There is this underlying sensibility and a sense of history, but also this aspect of Orphism, which we want to preserve and which the Guggenheim exhibition brought out beautifully, the more internal, the more poetic vision of the universe and of nature.